Hey guys, it's Brianna here. So today and yesterday I was talking to one of my dear friends that I met inside of Empower Network, and we were talking, getting a little bit closer, a little bit more, on a personal level, and we were talking about each other's stories and where we came from. And I got the idea to make a video about it, about the 5 things that you should know about me. Because if we're going to be working together, I think that, and if we're going to be partners, I think that we should know about each other. And it's actually kind of hard for me to come out of my shell, and we were talking about that as well, how I've been trying to come out of my shell now for a while. So I have a little list of things that I want to tell you guys, because I think it's really important for, for this to be on a personal level if we're going to be working together for, however many years. So one thing, I never get tired of people's stories. So many times people have come up to me and are, they want to tell me stuff. And like, at first I never really got it until I joined the Empower Network, that people would just kind of come up to me and at random and start telling me their life story. And I'm not quite sure why. I'm still trying to figure that out, but it's just been like kind of like a safe zone, I guess, for people to just kind of come up to me and tell their story. I mean, like, I don't tell secrets, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody comes up to me in secret, like, that's lockbox, you know what I mean? Like, that ain't going anywhere. So I think that has something to do with it. And another thing, like, sometimes people say, like, oh, I don't want to bother you with this, or I don't want this to bore you, but I want to tell you this. And I never, ever, 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 ever get bored or tired of people coming up to me and telling me their stories, because sometimes people just need somebody to vent to, and I totally get that. Totally 100% get that. So I'm here. Thing number 2, I always wanted to be a doctor before I found Empower Network. I didn't realize that the reason I was going for a doctorate degree or an MD was for all the wrong reasons. And let me touch on that. I always wanted to help people, and I love science. Absolutely love science. I love medicine. I love that whole, just helping people get better. I love that whole aspect. But I wanted to be a doctor mainly for the money, to be frank. I didn't. It's not that I didn't care about people or patients. It's just that I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go to med school for 8 years, and that's a quick, $300,000 every year. You know what I mean? Like, that's where my mindset was. And my mindset, had I gone into the medical industry that way, I would have been miserable, and I never would have found my passion, and I never would have found Empower Network. And I'm so, so blessed that my school, like, it didn't work out, because I found this and I found my home, So, I love the idea of working from home. Kind of, being a doctor kind of leads in to the Empower Network and everything like that. And I absolutely love the idea of, like, working from home and having your own personal freedom and time freedom and financial freedom. I want to be home with my kids when I have children. I don't want to send them to school. I don't believe in the public school system in America, because it, screwed me over so bad. Another story for a different day, or you can watch it. I've mentioned it a couple of times in other videos, but that's just a totally different story for a different day. But and I don't like wearing pants or socks or shoes. So the idea of being home and not having to get dressed is totally awesome. Like, that's like one of the main reasons why I like to, I just kind of stay home and blog in my underwear. It's great. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to do that. And I love the idea of having a pipeline income, so that I can just, like, plug it in and just have money coming in, and the system works for me, because it's on the internet. You know what I mean? I'm not actually out there having to physically talk to anybody, physically, engage, because the more you engage with one person, the less you can engage with the group. You know what I mean? So at one person, like, I could be talking to one person now directly through a video, but that one person could be 50 different people while watching my video at once, which is really cool. So I like that idea, pipeline, that whole, I can talk to one person because it's just me and the person watching, but it could also be me and 50 other people watching the video, which I think is awesome. I believe that everyone should have a good friend. or at least one good friend, at least one person that they can call family, that they can go to regardless of the situation, regardless of the circumstances. I believe that everybody should have that one, at least one person that they can go to if they're in trouble or if they need help, financial help, physical help. I grew up, I was an only child, I didn't have a very close family. It's always just been me and my mom and my mom's side of the family. I never really got that. I mean, I had friends, you know what I mean? But I was very, very shy. I was very quiet. I was a nerd. I was that kind of kid who would read their textbook for fun kind of person. Yeah, it's not that I didn't fit in. I had friends, and like I said, like everybody came up to me and talked to me about like stuff. I don't know why. Maybe that whole like common ground. I mean, I tend to be a relatively grounded person, or at least I try to remain relatively grounded and stoic. I can have freakouts, not gonna lie, but so does everybody. So I strongly believe in family, and that's why I love Empower Network so much, because I found my family. I found who I want to be with. I found where I belong. And for the longest time, I was lost. And I don't ever want to see anybody to be lost again. That's to be drifting around, not knowing where to go. It's heartbreaking to me. So, which kind of leads me into my fifth topic. But like I said before, I was, talking to my friend from Empower, and he'd been watching some of my videos, and he wanted to know a little bit more about my father and why. I've mentioned a couple of times that I found my mentor in Empower Network, and I found somebody to follow, and I found a leader that I want to be and that I wish to be just like, because he embodies so much of who I want to be. But I found him, and I mentioned a couple of times that he was like the father that I never had, which is true. I absolutely, I genuinely love this person. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have a father growing up. I had an uncle on my mom's side who I was really close to, but he wasn't a father figure. And the story with my dad is my parents got divorced when I was about 4 years old. And that's all I can really say at the moment about him, because I still really haven't come to terms with some of the mental demons that have gone on in my head because of some of the things that he's done. So, that being said, we can continue that story on a later date. A later date when I really processed it and I really, kind of come out of my shell a little bit more, and I'm more okay with what happened, and I've come to better terms with it. And this is kind of where my need for family kind of comes into play. I needed a place, and I needed people. I needed male role models in my life. I mean, I think everybody should have at least one female role model and one male role model. I mean, you gotta have equal ends of the spectrum, you know what I mean? But and since I found the Empower Network, and they introduced me to books like Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad, Psycho-Cybernetics, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, just to name just a few, just a very, very small few, books, I've been able to overcome some of the challenges that I've faced because of my father's emotional abuse. And that's just a little bit of it. There's a lot more that I'm just not quite ready to say yet. So I hope that you enjoyed my 5-ish things. I think there was a little bit more than 5 in there, but my 5-ish things about me, and I would love to hear all about you. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. I'll leave all the links below, and I'll leave more information in a link below for Empower Network so you can get started and join today.